Now, before we start this session, let me ask you a question. Is your organization truly making decisions based on trusted, reliable data, or are you navigating through data chaos? Welcome. Today, we will be discussing how to build a powerful competitive advantage by transforming that chaos into clarity. Now, we will be focusing on unlocking trusted business aligned data through a scalable enterprise modeling approach. Now, in today's world, many business risk making poor decisions due to inconsistent metrics and unreliable data. We're here to show you a better way of doing things and accomplishing your strategic objectives. Now, if we move on to the next slide, please. Yeah. Before we dive into the meat of things and discuss this modernization and all the approaches for the challenges that the organization faces, let me introduce you the experts or the panelists who will be guiding us today in this journey. Hi, my name is Awais Tariq. So I am the business intelligence practice head in Royal Cyber. Now I have the expertise in bridging the gap between high level business strategies and the data architecture required to execute it. Next, my team member is Brian Essler. So he is our principal data architect. Now, Brian is the man behind our most robust and scalable data solutions, ensuring that they are built for the future. And finally, last but not the least, is Mustafa Ali. So he's our solution architect. Mustafa excels at transforming complex business needs into tangible high performance data models. Now, let's discuss the roadmap that we will be following through this journey. So we will begin with a brief introduction about who Royal Cyber is and what we do. Then we'll frame the core data challenges that modern enterprises faces. After that, the heart of the presentation is we will take a deep dive look into Data Vault 2.0 methodology and our proven 5-pillar implementation approach. Sorry. And in the end, we will conclude this journey with our ready to use accelerators, that is just like plug and play, and a tangible 90-day roadmap with a very clear next steps, what needs to be done. Followed by the end of this session would be Q&A. Next, please. So for those who are new to Royal Cyber or joining for the first time, so let me introduce a bit about Royal Cyber. So Royal Cyber is a global IT consulting and digital transformation company specializing in delivering powerful services, solutions, and softwares. Now we have over 20 years of experience in the industry. Now our global team consists of over 2,000 employees, including more than 500 certified consultants. Now we operate from 10 plus 10 plus offices across 5 continents, serving over 600 clients worldwide. Now what really drives us, I mean, what is the the key strategic advantage with Royal Cyber is that our deep partnership, with our technology leaders like Microsoft, AWS, Google Cloud, and Oracle, etc. So this allows us to bring the best of each ecosystem to our clients based on their requirements and needs. Now, if we move forward, we would see, next slide, please. Yeah, so here basically you will see the testaments of the trust that is given from a diverse range of clients across the globe, that have been given to us. And we are very proud to have been partnered with some of the industry leaders over here. Now, our expertise spans across, key sectors like banking and finance, retail, manufacturing, healthcare, and many more. Our work with renowned companies like Humana, Packard, Kroger, etc., has given us deep domain knowledge that we bring to our every engagement. Now, if we want to see the partnerships that we have built for the technology leaders in the market, next slide, please. So this partnership, basically what makes us different from the rest of the crowd? What is our strength? So our strength lies in the partnership in our comprehensive service portfolio and our strong connections with the leading technology providers. Now we specializes in key areas like data modernization, generative AI, automation, and enterprise architecture. Now in order to bring the best solution to our clients, so we have partnered with some of the technology leaders in the market right now, like Microsoft, Snowflake, Databricks, GCP, Oracle, SAP, etc. Our deep expertise in platforms like Microsoft Fabric, Snowflake, SAP, GCP is central to our data modeling solutions. Now, this is basically some of the partnerships that we have. I've just given an overview of. There are many partnerships that we have, but some of the key leaders that we have in the market and how we are partnered with them. Now, let's now look at some of the challenges that the organization faces and what's the solution for that. So here I would like to ask my colleague Brian Essler to take over and present the challenges and the solutions for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Elise. So let's begin by acknowledging a common challenge across enterprises. Data is fragmented in silos. These silos create inefficiencies, compliance risks, and missed opportunities. Without a unified modeling framework, organizations face inconsistent metrics, poor data quality, and regulatory gaps. But there is a solution. Using best practices and enterprise data modeling techniques, you can transform chaos into structured, trustworthy assets that drive real business outcomes and competitive advantage. Next slide. But first, to build a resilient data architecture, we must first master the foundations. Organizations need to create and agree on a set of core modeling principles. They need to establish governance as a first-class principle and position data as a key enabler of digital transformation for strategic enterprise-wide initiatives. Next slide. For this to be successful, data modeling must first align with business need. If technology teams drive the modeling, what you usually end up with is reporting that is not useful to business and a lot of rework. Our business-first approach ensures that architecture supports key process initiatives, the KPIs, the core processes, and effective executive reporting. Next slide. Let's break down the three pillars of enterprise data. Master data, which is creating a single source of truth for entities like customer, product, and supplier. Reference data, which is standardizing lookup values to ensure consistency across systems. And transactional data that'll model transaction data for real-time analytics while still maintaining performance and data quality standards. Next. And let's admit that regulatory readiness is a key tenet and not really negotiable for most industries these days. And we strive to build a compliance-ready architecture that ensures agility without sacrificing adherence using data lineage, policy enforcement, and auditing. Next slide. At Royal Cyber, we use frameworks such as Data Vault and Medallion architecture to build trust. We leverage the agility of these frameworks to maintain business alignment and allow changes to models in days rather than months. And we're able to scale through the use of CI/CD that these frameworks support. Next slide. And our methodology is built on 5 pillars: alignment with business, modeling that can easily evolve as the requirements change, establishing data governance for quality, productionizing data for reusability, and operationalizing through automation. Next slide. And we provide ready-to-use reference architectures that accelerate implementation for platforms such as Snowflake, Databricks, Microsoft Fabric, and more. Next slide. We also have ready-to-use accelerators that are our toolkit to help us jumpstart projects and start delivering value to business faster. These are code artifacts that we bring to your organization based on the many implementations across our customer landscape. And these involve blueprints and templates that kind of we can come in and hit the ground running and get these projects up and running fast. Next slide. And so what does a 90-day implementation look like? We set up parallel work streams around strategy, modeling, platform, and adoption. And we have some key deliverables, which are the enterprise models, a data architecture, a governance framework, and automation through CI/CD. And at kickoff, we established some success metrics around data quality, the speed of changes to model, the usage of the semantic layer, and cost optimizations. Next slide. And what does a typical engagement look like? We usually will come in 3 to 4 weeks, we'll do an assessment sprint. From there, we'll do a pilot implementation for 6 to 12 weeks. And based on the success of that, we will plan an enterprise scale out to the rest of the organization and through the rest of the data models usually. We have some risk mitigation strategies for common challenges around fragmentation, model sprawl, adoption, and cost. So if you're ready to transform your enterprise data architecture, Royal Cyber's methodology is here to help you align and have effective business outcomes within 90 days. So if you're interested, reach out and we'd be happy to do an initial assessment and talk to you about your project. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mustafa, my colleague, to go through one of the architectures we talked about.
Thank you, Brian. Let me just a second. Just adjust my slides here. Screen and so is my screen visible? Brian, can you send the full screen? Okay. So my name is Mustafa Ali. Hello, everyone. Just a quick background. 25 plus years working with data management, building MDM type solutions. So being around 25 plus years, before we were doing, any of the methodologies, all professional teams were learning and evolving and adopting new methodologies, etc. Right? And came along some new terminologies and things like that. So data vault is one of them. So giving it a more structured and it's well documented and well practiced. So for people who's in data management as long as I have, I'm sure you have been implementing those or working these things, but going forward, more modern cloud infrastructures and everything else. This is the latest methodology that are in practice today. So we're going to dig deeper into the Data Vault 2.0. So why Data Vault 2.0, right? So Data Vault 2.0 was created by Dan Lindstedt to address the limitation of traditional data modeling method that struggled to balance agility and compliance in modern enterprises. At its core, DV 2.0 offers 3 key advantages. It's built for auditability. Every change in the data is tracked, providing complete data lineage. This makes it ideal for organizations with strict regulatory or compliance needs. Designed for scalability, it can handle very large and rapidly growing data volumes, scaling smoothly as business expands. It enables agile development. The model supports iterative and incremental delivery, so new data sources can be integrated quickly without disrupting existing structures. So Winstead's vision was to create a methodology that keeps up with fast-changing business environments while maintaining trust, traceability, and governance. And that's why Data Vault 2.0 has become the modern standard for the enterprise data warehousing. So, so at its core principles, it has some separations by concern. So talking about hubs, for example, it provides unique keys like customer, products, or orders, provide the linkages, the relationship between all those dimension and fact, objects, tables, etc. And then it has satellites, meaning the context, history, and descriptive attributes, slowly changing dimensions in the data, right? Agility and flexibility, it designs to adapt quickly to new sources and business rules without re-engineering the entire model. It handles schema evaluation gracefully. The scalability for DB 2.0 emphasizes parallel loading and automation, enable very large volumes of data across multiple sources, fits well with the MPP systems and cloud platforms like Snowflake, uh, Synapse, BigQuery, and Microsoft Fabric. Next slide here. So Data Vault 2.0 is a key enabler for enterprise data modernization because it's built for change, scalability, and for the cloud. By separating raw data from business rules, it allows us to adapt to new requirements or source changes without breaking existing pipelines. It promotes agile and iterative delivery. Secondly, it provides hybrid architecture support. Uh, it works with both batch and real-time ingestions, supporting modern data lakehouse environments. This flexibility means organizations can evolve from on-prem ETL to streaming or hybrid cloud setups seamlessly, right? So finally, it's optimized for platforms like Snowflake, Azure Synapse, and BigQuery. It supports metadata-driven ingestions and CI/CD automation for data pipelines, helps teams deliver faster with higher consistency. So in short, Data Vault 2.0 bridges traditional warehousing with modern cloud agility. Some additional benefits that goes into data governance and auditability, semantic layer integrations, cloud platform flexibility. I'm going to spend too much time here. Let's go into the compliant by design. Uh, so Data Vault 2.0 doesn't just organize data; it ensures that it's trusted, traceable, and compliant across the enterprise. It starts with a simple source of truth, ensuring every report and dashboard draws from the same consistent and traceable data, eliminating any contradictory insights. The version data architecture allows point-in-time reporting and complete audit trails, so teams can look back at any historical state of the data for any regulatory or analytical needs. Its design, the timestamp and auditable design means every change in data is logged with precision. It supports compliance with frameworks like GDPR, HIPAA, or SOX. Finally, separation of raw and business logic keeps technical lineage and business interpretation distinct, making BI models cleaner, faster, and easier to maintain. The outcome is fully governed, analytics-ready foundation that helps both real-time insights and strict compliance requirements. Data Vault 2.0 organizes data into three distinct layers, each designed for governance, flexibility, and traceability. We start with the raw vault layer, which captures all source data in its original form, complete with timestamps, audit trails, and node identifiers. This layer is immutable and serves as the foundation for compliance and data integrity. Next is the business vault layer, where transformation happens. Raw data is standardized into business-ready entities with defined rules, calculations, and interpretations. All business logic here is centralized, version-controlled, and fully documented. Finally, the information mart layer delivers analytics-ready data models. It's optimized for reports, dashboards, and specific business use cases, all with appropriate security controls. So together, these layers ensures a strong governance at every stage while maintaining the agility to adapt quickly to business and regulatory changes. So let's compare the traditional facts and dimension star schema to Data Vault 2.0. First, the flexibility. Data Vault easily adapts to new data sources or regulatory changes without redesigning the model, while fact and dimension models often require structural changes. DB 2.0 provides complete lineage and relationship history out of the box, where traditional models rely on complex, slowly changing dimensions for the same purpose in that example, right? Next, the data integration is designed to integrate multiple diverse data sources at different levels of granularity. Sometimes that can be quite difficult with standard star schemas. Data Vault leverages ELT-based processing on modern cloud platforms like Snowflake and BigQuery, handling large volumes and real-time ingestion efficiency. Finally, governance and compliance. The DB 2.0 includes auditable lineage and traceability by design, supporting compliance framework that would otherwise need custom layers in fact dimension tables. So in short, Data Vault 2.0 modernizes the warehouse foundation, making it more agile, scalable, and compliant. One of the most practical advantages of Data Vault 2.0 is how much easier it is to support and maintain compared to traditional data platforms. In the Data Vault 2.0 support model, the architecture is modular, meaning if there's an issue in one area, it doesn't break the entire system. This solution makes troubleshooting much faster. It also relies heavily on automation. Automation testing and data quality checks detect issues early and reduce manual interventions. Because changes are version controlled and incremental, teams can deploy updates safely without disrupting operations. So in contrast, traditional platform supports often depends on manual processes and custom scripts, which are time consuming and sometimes error prone. Even small changes can require coordinated system-wide updates, increasing both complexity and sometimes the downtime. So overall, the Data Vault 2.0 dramatically reduces maintenance efforts, improves reliability, and enables continuous improvements, making it ideal for modern cloud-based enterprise environments. So this is just the advantage summary, what I just talked about, the agility, data modeling. It adopts fast and changing, enables modern event-driven architecture, it accelerates delivery, supports trust, compliance, and it's seamless fit for modern data lakehouse and multi-cloud architectures. So before we start a Data Vault 2.0 initiative, it's essential to address a few strategic and operational questions to ensure readiness and alignment. First, under business alignment, we need to make sure key stakeholders are engaged. Do we clearly understand their data needs and challenges? And have we prioritized business domains like compliance or lifecycle for a phased rollout? Next is technical readiness. Do our architects and engineers have the right skills and experience with data vault concepts? And can our current cloud infrastructure handle the high performance or parallel data loads that DB 2.0 requires? Then comes the maintenance and support. We should define how schema changes or regulatory updates will be managed and make sure we have defined a maintenance window that aligns with critical business operations. Finally, cost and ROI. We need to evaluate the total cost of ownership, including training and migration, and understand the expected ROI timeline. Asking these questions upfront helps organization plan a successful, sustainable data vault implementation that delivers both agility and long-term value. So on data governance, some considerations. When implementing Data Vault 2.0 governance and change management, it becomes critical. Under governance policy adoption, we must review how existing governance policies will handle sensitive data, such as personal, medical, or financial information. Within the Data Vault framework, DB 2.0 granular lineage and auditability support compliance, but policies still needs to be updated to reflect how data is stored and shared. Successful governance depends on collaboration between IT, business, and compliance teams. Each must have clearly defined ownership to manage different aspects of the vault, from modeling standards to access control. On the change management side, the actuarial team transition is key. Teams used to legacy data marts will need support to adjust to the new model and understand where critical data now resides. Finally, training programs ensures adoption, and user and analysts must be equipped to navigate, query, and leverage the data vault model effectively in their day-to-day operations. So together, these steps ensure that governance remains strong while the organization transitions smoothly to a modern data platform. The high level, any data warehouse architecture at a very high level, the data sources is, it could be any structure, unstructured, or any other ERP systems. We bring this data into staging into the data vault business vaults that serves different purposes then to analytics, BI, OLAP, or standard reporting. Business logic is only mapped in the business vault in this methodology. BI layer mainly uses business vault. And the business vault layer is an add-on or view, not a copy of the raw vault. Let's talk about some real-world examples. Here. To close the loop, here are some real-world examples that shows how Data Vault 2.0 delivers value in practical scenarios. When a financial company introduces a new product line, DB 2.0 allows them to add new attributes and relationships without redesigning the core model. They can extend satellite tables and move forward without disruption. Second, the historical tracking example. Tracking beneficiary or policyholder changes becomes effortless because every change is versioned with timestamps, giving a complete and reliable history and compliance or analytics. DB 2.0 easily merge data from legacy mainframes with modern cloud sources, handling different granularities and supporting daily or even real-time updates. For the performance example, organization processing millions of transactions daily can scale efficiently while also supporting real-time fraud detection. And finally, the governance example, during audit, teams can instantly trace calculations and decisions back to historical data and rule sets without building extra metadata layer. So in short, these example highlights that DB 2.0's ability to combine agility, performance, and compliance all in one unified model. If we look at how to the timeline wise, how to implement this roadmap, just outlines a typical journey organization follow when implementing Data Vault 2.0 from planning to full scale expansion. We start with phase one, plan and prepare. This is about aligning teams, selecting the right tools, and ensuring everyone understands the methodology. It sets the foundation for success. Next, here we create the blueprint, defining the core model, structure, naming conventions, and governance standards to ensure performance and compliance in phase two. In phase three, this phase focuses on building and testing the data pipelines, automating ingestions, and establishing data quality checks. And in phase four, once the data is integrated, we empower business users with self-serving analytics, advanced reporting, and even AI-driven insights. Then comes the monitoring and improvement phases after that, where we continuously track performance, automate updates, and refine data processes to keep the system reliable and efficient. And finally, scaling the data vault across more business domains, integrations with additional cloud platforms and APIs. This goal is to move from a strong foundation to an agile, enterprise-wide data ecosystems, one that grows with our business. And just one more. So at Royal Cyber, we help organizations accelerate their Data Vault 2.0 journey from strategy to enablement. We begin with a strategic partnership. As a premier implementation partner with WorldSpeed, we bring metadata-driven automation to speed up DB 2.0 deployment. Under advisory and architecture, we perform readiness assessments, design scalable blueprints, and ensure your architecture is cloud native and future proof. Through automation and acceleration, we leverage WorldSpeed to automate model generation, ELT pipelines, and deployments. This drastically reducing the implementation time and human error. Cloud enablement covers seamless deployment across platforms like Snowflake, Azure Synapse, Databricks, BigQuery, and Microsoft Fabric. Our data engineering teams build hubs, links, and satellites following best practices with CI/CD integration. For governance and compliance, we establish traceability, audit logs, and alignment with enterprise data governance frameworks. Finally, we provide BI and analytics integrations with tools like Power BI, SAC, and Looker, and also conduct the training and handoffs so your internal teams can maintain and scale confidently, right? So in essence, Royal Cyber combines methodology, automation, cloud expertise to deliver a fully governed high-performance Data Vault 2.0 ecosystem. Madhu, I believe we can go to Q&A if I stop sharing my screen.
Yes, so any questions the audience have, feel free to ask us. Um, yeah. Even this recording will be shared with the entire audience. So even if at the later stage, if any one of you have any questions regarding the content that we have shared, you can always reach out to us, and we will be happy to answer those questions even at the later stage as well. Okay, I think we got one question over here. So I think Mustafa, you were presenting that Data Vault 2.0 methodology. I think that comes to your area as well. So they are saying that how if you do a comparison. So the question is, if we do a comparison of the scalability for the dimensional modeling versus Data Vault 2.0 methodology, so how would you rate? I mean, that's a good question actually, because we have been very much used to that traditional approach of dimensional modeling. Now, for the scalability part, for updating any data models, I think that's what the that person is asking. What kind of effort we're looking at and how easy it is versus data vault 2.0 versus dimensional modeling.
Right. So as I said earlier, right? I mean, in one shape or form, we are pretty much doing the same thing. The real performance gain, in short, it really comes at a really large, enterprise level projects, So when you have a structured approach, doing that dimensional modeling, using these principles, that saves time and a lot of, any downtimes down the road, and people start building some of patches after patches. So this kind of give you a structured approach from the beginning to account for any pitfalls or down the road glitches and things like that. So from that perspective, hopefully I answered that question. That's how it improves the overall delivery.
And
Okay.
I might add to that really quick. So I think that Data Vault doesn't actually completely eliminate the dimensional modeling. It the reporting layer, the semantic layer for all these reporting tools still really needs to be data model, dimensional model, not straight data vault. So what ends up happening is you end up creating either a set of views or a handful of materialized views that implement that semantic model, or in something like Power BI, you would build the semantic model very similarly the way you normally do and import the data, depending on the size, or you would bring that back as a traditional dimensional model. The other thing about Data Vault that allows for scalability is it is much more resilient to change. You don't have to decide on type 2 dimensions. Everything is sort of treated as kind of a slowly changing dimension. The keys are immutable. If a new data source, for example, comes into your system, you don't have to keep rebuilding maybe a factor dimension to account for the new changes. So Data Vault allows you to just bring in a new satellite and allows changes. It's much more agile without having to ever rebuild any of the existing structures.
Very
Got
true.
it. Yeah.
Thank you,
Sounds
Brian.
good. Thank you. Okay, let me check if we have another question over here. Okay, so another question is regarding, one of the participant is asking, how do you decide whether the Data Vault 2.0 methodology is a good fit for your organization? In which scenario do we choose that either we go with the traditional, dimensional modeling approach, or we go with the Data Vault 2.0 methodology?
I take that. remember, go back to the, I guess, the examples in different scenarios that I have presented here, right? So we can
Yeah.
go in there, and from there you can, take some ideas in which scenarios. Again, it depends on the complexity, the size, the velocity of the data, things like that, right? That's where it really shines and show its value, right?
Yeah, and I guess I would add to that too, in that I would think in almost all cases, Data Vault is a good choice, especially because most data models, you don't have that complete design. So what you often struggle with is you're constantly changing the design. Data Vault, unlike Inman or Kimball, embraces change, right? It you can make massive changes. You can build the model slowly over time. You can decentralize the implementation of it so that different data teams are implementing different satellites or different parts of the system at separate times. So I would think in most cases it's worth a look. Where most organizations I think shy away from it is it's a newer concept, and it's not as deeply embedded, and people are kind of afraid of learning something new when they know the existing structure. But I think it's worth a look in almost every scenario.
Right. And I would just like to add, Brian, what you have said, right? So the world is changing, right? And the data is growing, day by day in massive TVs. Even for smaller organization, it is being, it is growing exponentially. Now, in order to do that, right? So dimensional modeling, yes, I mean, we had these traditional tools and even manual methods of doing it, but implementing Vault 2.0 methodology. So there are many tools in the market right now that gives you the kind of an automation or help you in deploying, that methodology in a more automated way. So that also shortens the time of your deployment. And plus, one more thing I would like to add, right? Um, One thing that helps you to decide that Vault 2.0 methodology could be a good fit for your organization is if your models or if your data models are changing frequently, right? So if there is a continuous or a more frequent change in the modeling or the data models that have been created, so it is always preferred to go with Vault 2.0 methodology because it is much more easier and it is much it accommodates these changes much more fluently as compared to dimensional modeling. So that is another one thing that should be kept in mind. Any other thoughts on this, guys?
I don't know if we answered the
Right.
question. If there any follow-up
Yeah,
questions.
I think we did. So let me check. Yeah, I think no more follow-up questions on this, but the answers we provided, yeah, the audience is good. But yeah, I mean, guys, if you for the audience, if you have questions on the later stage, please feel free to drop those questions, and this panel would be happy to answer those questions for you. And yeah, I think there are no more questions. So, yep, that is it from our side. I hope everyone enjoyed this session and looking forward to see you in our next series as well. Yeah. Thank you from my side. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.